Hi everyone, I'm Martin and welcome to another coaching talk. Today's coaching talk, I'm going to be specifically talking about what to expect on London Marathon Day. Now, there seems to be loads of panicking people on social media since the London Marathon app has been released, and I totally get that. Any marathon is a big deal. If it's your first marathon, it's going to be a bigger deal. And as it's the London Marathon, it's a massive deal because it's the one that we've all watched on TV and been inspired by, and it's ones that all of our friends and family know about. So here's a short guide on what to expect on race day. Now, this is going to specifically relate to London, okay, with tips on nutrition, kit, getting race ready, and things like that. But it's applicable to pretty much any marathon, with some of the things just being specific to London. Now, even though I've done London 14 times before and next week is going to be my 15th, things do change every year. Okay, so this is correct to the best of my knowledge. However, please read the official information sent out by the London Marathon, and I'll post this in the notes on the video. Okay, this is really important that you read this because this is going to tell you all of the factual information. Okay, if you ask questions on social media, you are likely to get contradictory information. Read the full official information first of all. Now, Marathon Day is going to start really early for us runners. Okay, you should plan to arrive at your start area at around about an hour before the race starts, unless you're specifically told otherwise. So make sure you know how to get there. Okay, plan your route. So if you're coming across London, use the Transport for London website or their app. You can put in your start point, the finish point, and it will tell you exactly how to get there and how long it's going to take. Now, also have a slight contingency plan if you need to, okay, especially as there's planned rail strikes at the moment. And also try and leave a little bit earlier than you probably need to, just to make sure that you get there on time. Now, breakfast may happen before you leave your hotel or wherever you're staying, or you might have to have it on the go, depending on what your start time is and how far you have to travel in. Aim to eat your breakfast about 2 to 3 hours before you start running and have something that you have practiced in training. Now, if you are one of the later waves, okay, and you're going to be starting later in the morning and you're going to be starting to travel earlier in the morning, then consider a double breakfast, okay? Double breakfasts are never a bad thing. For example, you could have a bagel and some orange juice 5 hours before the start, maybe when you get up and before you leave the hotel, and then you have another bagel and some orange juice or your normal breakfast 2 to 3 hours before, but maybe sort of on the go. Your breakfast should be based around simple carbs for energy, okay? Light on fats, light on fibre, so that there's no upset in your stomach. I generally have things like, well, I do have toast before I leave the hotel in the morning. I have a banana as I'm walking out of the hotel, and I'll have a sports drink on me at all times until about 30 minutes before the race starts. Now, I also have a coffee with my breakfast, and then I will have a caffeine chew just before the start of the race. Evidence says that 3 to 6 mg of per kilogram of body weight 30 to 60 minutes before a race is ideal, but don't worry too much about those sort of timings. Now, make sure that you have everything you need with you. Kit bag, which you can pick up from the Excel Centre when you pick your number up. You've got your gels, your racing shoes, everything else. Now, I tend to wear all of my kit from hotel to start with my number already pinned on, so I've got nothing to think about. I'll put something like an old jumper on or old pair of tracksuit bottoms if it's going to be chilly in the morning, because you don't want to get cold and start to burn energy while your body's trying to warm up before you even start the race. I might also wear something like an old raincoat or a bin bag with a hole cut in it for my head if it's going to be raining or damp. Now, dress warm for the start area, okay, because you have to hand your kit bag in. round about sort of 30 minutes before the start. So you're going to be hanging around and there's a possibility you'll get cold, which is why I take these old clothes that I can then throw off at the start area. Okay, and any of the clothes that are discarded at the start area will be collected up by charities. Now I pack my racing trainers in my kit bag and I change those at the last minute because I don't want my racing trainers, I don't really want to walk across London in them, but also I don't want them to get wet walking across the parks to get to the start area. Now, if there's a bag drop at your marathon, okay, you want to fill a kit bag full of items that you want to be there at the end for you. For London, you pick up your empty kit bag at the expo. Now, it's roughly about rucksack size. So I take a rucksack with me and put my kit bag inside that. And then just before I'm going to put it on the lorry, I'll put my rucksack into the kit bag, tie it all up, hand it over. It means that once I've finished, I'm carrying my rucksack on my shoulders and not a kit bag with a really sort of thin string that's likely to cut into tired shoulders. Okay, now once you picked your kit bag up, okay, make sure that you pack all of your clothes and everything that you want for the finish line. So I'll have a full change of warm clothes, I'll have some food, and I'll also have a couple of beers in there as well. You can also consider things like phone chargers if you're going to be hanging around London afterwards, and also a change of shoes. Now, the bags are totally safe, okay, as they're put on the lorries in front of you when you hand them in the morning, and they're taken off at the end in a secure finishing area. So you can put things in there like your phone or money, things like that, if you don't want to carry them around London with you while you're racing. Now, when you arrive at your destination station, okay, your train station or wherever you're travelling to, your nerves may be jangling, okay? For a mass start marathon like London, don't worry about finding your way to the start. All you need to do is follow the hordes of other runners going towards the start area. All of the facilities will be well signposted from all of the stations, and there will be marshals on hand to ask any questions. For London, the stations are Blackheath, Greenwich or Maze Hill. It will tell you on the official app what train station to head for and what time to get to that train station for the walk across to your start area. Okay, the train station on the app will be the closest one to your start area. However, this is done to spread out the runners amongst the different train stations and services. You can walk quite easily from any of the train stations to any of the start areas. So if you're going with friends or family that are starting on a different start area to you, you can walk over the parks together. Now, once you arrive, check out where to drop your bag. You'll see the big lorries, okay, with loads of people and loads of bags on them. You don't need to do that straight away, okay, unless you're rushing for time. That means that you can keep any sort of items of clothing on that you may want for the finish line. There are usually announcements as to when to drop your bags off by. Then it's the classic queue for the toilets, okay. Once again, once you've been, if you're one of these people that may need to go again, join the back of the queue, okay? Everybody does it. It's always better to be safe. Now, there are urinals for both men and women, which tend to have faster moving queues. However, it's personal choice as to what you need to do and what you prefer to use to do that. I generally see people I know or coach at this point. So I've been a part of the running community for quite a while, so I'll spend some time sort of just chatting to them about the race. I also sip on a sports drink at this time until about 30 minutes before the start. If you've paid for a photo package, or if you're going to think about paying for a photo package afterwards, then make sure you ask any official photographers to take as many photos of you as possible. There are plenty of them around. Now, if you do this, make sure that you've got your number visible, okay, because that's how you're identified on any of the photograph packages when they put them together at the end. Now, you may well be feeling nervous at this point. That's normal. Try some deep breathing, chat to other people who may be feeling the same, or have some practiced mental strategies that you can call on. Maybe putting some music on, whether it's something calming, whatever it might be. If someone is being negative around you or saying things that are making you more stressed, politely just move away. Okay, you need positive energy at this point, okay, because there's going to be a lot of nerves and a lot of excitement around, but there is a lot of positive energy around there. So if anybody's stressing you out, just politely move away. One of my clients always reminds herself to take in the atmosphere, slowly, calmly look around and take it in, as it's something that you may never get to experience again, and be grateful that whatever happens on race day, you've had that opportunity to be part of something so special. Now, when the deadline for dropping your kit bag looms, drop it off, go to the toilet again if needed. There are plenty of portaloos along the route, so don't worry too much if you're not going for a time and then start to prepare. Okay, I do a little bit of a warm-up jog, a few strides just to get my legs moving at race pace, mostly to check that everything is in working order and that my shoes and socks feel comfortable. Nothing needs those last minute adjustments. Okay, then it's time to get into your start wave. If you're planning on following a pacer, make sure that you find one in your wave with the same goal finish time as you have, and make sure that you cross the line at the same point as them or a few seconds afterwards. The pacers are very easily identifiable because they have big flags sticking out of a pack on their back, and they will have the start colour and also their finish time on their flags. So at this point, when you're in the starting pen, make sure that you turn your watch on so that you can get a GPS signal. It takes longer as there are thousands of people and watches trying to do the same thing. Once the start line starts to move forward, some runners like to take a gel, then discard any of your old clothes, and then you're off. Okay, as you approach the start line, two really important things. Don't forget to smile, okay, because you may well be on TV and you want to always be smiling whenever you're on television. And then make sure that you start your watch before you go over the first timing map. That means that your watch will always be slightly ahead of where you want to be, but only by a couple of seconds. There's usually 2 timing mats for every sort of 5K, I think it is 5K, 10K. Now, it is nerve-wracking. Okay, but it's also exciting. You're part of a massive event, so please go and enjoy every second of it. So I hope that this has been a benefit to you. If it has, please leave a comment in the box below, and I'll be back next time with some more coaching tips. Take care, enjoy your marathon, and goodbye.